What's going on, everybody? Let's make sure everybody can hear me good and well. And we'll go from there. Gotta talk about some of the trial here. What is this? Shit. Hold on. Make sure everyone can hear me good. Hopefully there's no issues hearing me. Let me know if I sound good to everybody. We got some different footage from the trial here. I guess we'll start with this. Obviously, it is news. Do need to cover it to some degree. I don't know why this sounds a little... There we go. That sounds better. There we go. That sounds good. All right. Let's get started here.
What are we seeing here, Agent Hall?
That's the vehicle that is believed to belong to Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage on campus.
At what time in the morning? What time of the day?
It's approximately 8:30 in the morning on September 10th, 2025.
Prosecutors in court played a compilation video that they say shows Tyler Robinson on the UVU campus 4 times on the day that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed. Now, the first, Robinson's car allegedly arriving at about 8:30 in the morning. Take a listen.
And what leads you to believe that this particular vehicle belongs to Mr. Robinson?
Information that was provided regards to driver's license and Department of Motor Vehicle records. The vehicle fits the description of a vehicle owned by Mr. Robinson.
Apparently Robinson got something to eat at Chick-fil-A, at some point changed outfits from shorts to long pants, and was also walking with a limp at one point. We're told that he returned to the campus about 11:53 a.m. At 12:22, was shown lying prone on the roof with a line of sight to where Charlie Kirk was sitting. 12:23, shot fired. Then the video, they say, shows Tyler Robinson running back across the roof, jumping off that roof and fleeing north. This is all evidence that the prosecution is putting before a judge who will decide if there is probable cause, if there's enough evidence for Tyler Robinson, 23 years old, to be put on trial for the killing of Charlie Kirk. The prosecution has already said that they will be seeking the death penalty.
What are we seeing here, Agent Hall?
That's the vehicle that is believed to belong to Mr. Robinson arriving in the parking garage.
Okay, so that's that. That's the first part.
What time?
Obviously covering like the vehicle he was driving, his leg limping, stuff like that. And then obviously the text messages, which are probably the most damning evidence I think prosecutors have in this case, are the text messages Tyler Robinson sent his roommate following the shooting.
Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. And then Lance replies, you weren't the one who did it, right? And Tyler says, I am, I'm sorry. Lance says, I thought they caught the person. And then Tyler says, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude and interrogated someone in similar clothing. I had planned to grab my rifle from the drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. And Lance says, why? And Tyler says, why did I do it? And Lance says, yeah. Tyler says, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you shortly, or sorry, we'll update you by midnight. And then Lance says, all right, stay safe. How long have you been planning this?
Scroll down a little bit, please, Kimberly.
And Tyler replies, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there is a squad car parked right by it. I think they already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. This is while they were spot, but I don't want to chance it while they were parked there. If they had found it, I imagine there would be more commotion. Again, I'm sorry for roping you into all of this. You shouldn't have to worry about this. And Lance replies, does anyone else know? Tyler says, not to my knowledge. Tyler says, guess I'm just sitting in my car watching reels for another hour, hoping this guy off. We'll update soon. He continues, the squad car was moved further away enough that I should be able to move in. I backed off because I thought I heard footsteps, maybe a foot patrol. Getting worried, hard to know for sure, but I'm not finding my rifle. Could be in the wrong spot. Lance says, do you think they found it? And Tyler says, dunno, they haven't published anything if they have. IDEK, if I had a serial number, but it wouldn't trace to me, I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I changed outfits, didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but gotta grab my rifle still.
So, attorneys also clashed in these preliminary hearings.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Nyman on behalf of the Kirk family. I've been very hesitant to speak up at these proceedings. We understand it's the state, the defense, and the judge. You're all doing your job. But I feel as if we need to. I want to be clear as to what the Kirk's family's position is on all of this. The Kirk family believes strongly that if the evidence is being admitted in this preliminary hearing, it should be made public for the world to see. No redactions. This court has tools at its tools at its disposal to make sure the defendant receives a fair trial. You'll use them if you find that you need to. That's it, Your Honor. To not be transparent here, to not be open, to not let the world see what happened, will create doubt and distrust in the judicial system. And that's not what anybody wants. That's not what any of us believe should happen here. And we'd ask the court to consider the position of the family in making its ultimate decision.
Thank you. And again, all of this is going to be considered by the court. I'm balancing all these competing rules, the constitutional rights, as well as transparency. And sometimes it is an imperfect balancing act, but I'm trying to act in the interest of justice in making this balancing act and for transparency to actually be transparent.
Your Honor, Jeffrey Nyman on behalf of the Kirk family. I've been very hesitant to speak up at these proceedings. We understand.
So that's basically how that trial is going, or that the preliminary hearings are going, rather. And we've seen some of the stuff. I don't think it's an incredibly strong case. I think there's a lot of things that the prosecution's going to have to cover. That's going to make it extremely difficult. Eric Kirk, of course, and Charlie Kirk's parents did, in fact, walk out of the courtroom as evidence was being shown.
If we could just have a clarification on the court's ruling. So I understand the court overruled and published, and I accept the ruling, but I thought under the court's previous order that the media was not going to film exhibits. And they are filming the ones that are on that screen. So I guess I just need to clarify that, Your Honor. I'm sorry.
No, and I appreciate the clarification. It's important. What my ruling when we came back from break was if you are objecting specifically to the exhibit and then to the exhibit being published in the courtroom and then the exhibit being published which can be captured by media, if that's not specifically addressed, I am going to allow it.
If we could just have a clarification on the court's ruling. So
I guess they don't want things filmed. The entire case is extremely bizarre, and they're going to have a lot of conversations about ballistics. I would imagine the bullet itself coming into question, as that's been a question since the beginning, pretty much. Last clip here before we start taking calls and stuff like that.
And throughout your career with DPS, have you either played a role in or led a homicide investigation?
I have, yes.
How many do you think?
Either directly or indirectly, I've probably been involved in approximately 40 or so.
And is that throughout the state of Utah?
Yes, we assist throughout the state of Utah.
Were you working September 10th of 2025?
I was, yes.
Someone with the SBI collected a video
Yes.
from Amber Wright.
Yes, Agent Mortensen contacted Miss Wright on October 8th, and a video was provided to him electronically on October 11th.
Okay. What, if anything, has been done, either by you or another agent, with that same video in preparation for today's hearing?
We contacted Miss Wright to arrange a meeting so that Miss Wright could review the video and that we could verify firsthand with her that the video was what she had taken.
Is he in the courtroom today?
He is, yes.
Would you point him out and describe something that he's wearing?
Your Honor, we object to unduly suggestive in-court identification for constitutional grounds.
Do you wish to specify?
It's not even the clip I tried to bring up. I don't know which one that is. All right, so as you can see, they're just going over the evidence, the vehicle, the camera footage, the text messages, but the major questions in that case are going to be obviously ballistics. The other part is today we discussed a lot this morning about Tuesday. A 52-year-old Mexican immigrant was killed on his way to work by ICE. A guy who has never been arrested, was in the country for 35 years, no criminal record, put 3 kids through college, was forced off the road by an unidentified ICE vehicle. ICE ended up murdering this individual. There's a video of him on the ground screaming in pain. And it's quite disturbing. But I'm going to play a couple here really quick. Just trigger warning. We also heard the son speak a little bit about this. Deeply troubling as well. I'm sorry, I'm trying to find trying to bring one up that's not, you can't even see what happened because so many of them are blurred out. In fact, I don't even think we need to. I'll just kind of play this really quick.
With breaking news from the Magnolia Park neighborhood, a man
This case is deeply troubling, but ICE once again kills somebody with no criminal record, of course, because that's what they fucking do.
Find your part.
They murder people for no fucking reason.
shot in the stomach with. We begin at 3 with breaking news from the Magnolia Park neighborhood. A man shot in the stomach with ICE agents and federal investigators on scene. Within the last few moments, we've confirmed that man has died. Let's show you where this is happening at the intersection of Canal Street and Highway 90. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is there working to gather the latest. Bryce, what have you learned?
Andy, federal agents...
they just released a video.
New surveillance videos obtained by KHU 11 News are shedding more light, though, on the events leading up to the shooting.
They offer a clearer picture of the pursuit by the ICE agents through the East Inn neighborhood. Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski has been going through those videos. He's in the newsroom right now. Jeremy?
Yeah, Mia, several new angles provide added context.
New surveillance videos obtained by KHU 11 News are shedding more light, though, on the events leading up to the shooting.
They offer a clearer picture of the pursuit by the ICE ICE agents through the East End neighborhood. Investigative reporter Jeremy Rogowski has been going through those videos. He's in the newsroom right now. Jeremy?
Yeah, Len and Mia, several new angles provide added context and perspective to the moments before Lorenzo Salgado's deadly encounter with ICE agents. A Food Mart camera captures traffic on Wayside Drive and shows Salgado's white van zipping through the frame, tailed by not one, but two dark, unmarked SUVs. A few blocks down, this gas station security video shows the van making a sharp left turn on Canal Street with one of the unmarked ICE vehicles following closely behind. Zoomed in, you can see the van hopping a curb when negotiating that turn. From there, a nearby homeowner's camera captured the pursuit. The ICE SUV pulls up on the driver's side of Salgado's van. A closer look reveals Canal is a construction zone and down to 2 lanes. The ICE vehicle is driving on the wrong side of the road. Just down the street, yet another video appears to show the unmarked ICE vehicle cutting the van off with no visible emergency lights. Both vehicles then turn around, and the gas station video shows the van pulling over. You can see ICE agents removing a passenger. Salgado's family says 3 of his workers in the van were ultimately detained. Now, while more people are sharing videos recorded just before the shooting of Lorenzo Salgado, the most critical moment has not yet surfaced. That is the shooting itself. Again, the ICE agents involved were not wearing body cameras, so these surveillance videos could be key to reconstructing exactly what happened Tuesday morning. Len and Mia?
Jeremy Rogowski.
So we just saw there. Guys, 13 Kelly says, bruh, just leave social media. You're pathetic. No, Kelly. Now I'm going to stay on social media even longer just because it annoys you. Just because it annoys you, I'm going to stay even longer, Kelly. Richard Kelly. I'm now going to stay. I was going to actually leave next month, and now I'm going to stay for another 10 years just because you said that, Richard. Sucks to be Richard. All right, let's turn the phone lines on here. Let's get Google Voice up. You disagree with me, you're welcome to call in. Phone lines are active. And let's go from there. Phone lines are active. Call in, you disagree. 908-652-3703. No emergency lights on this vehicle, folks. No emergency lights on this vehicle. So as we predicted, it's just an unmarked vehicle chasing a car down the road. Unbelievable. You can't make this shit up. You really can't. Cannot make this shit up. But yeah, we're supposed to just, go along with this. We're not supposed to call this out at all. Don't you dare say anything about this, otherwise ICE might arrest you too. But yeah, America, fuck yeah. Land of the free, home of the brave. These Muppets in here putting people who are in opposition to fascism in prison. Putting people in prison who are in opposition to fascism. Antifa means anti-fascist. How can you be opposed to Antifa? Well, you can if you're MAGA, because MAGA's fascist. That's why they don't like Antifa. That's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? It's a sad, sad, sad reality of our country right now. We are in a sad, sad state. Why are you guys talking about Biden? Biden's in Martha's Vineyard eating mint chocolate chip ice cream. No one cares. Okay? We're so past the point of Biden, are we not? We're still talking about Biden. You guys are still saying, what about Biden? What about Biden?
Call from.
Yeah, when ICE stops killing people, then I'll stop complaining. What's up?
Past the point of Biden.
You got to turn my live stream off. 301, you got to turn my live stream off. You're talking to me on the phone, 301. This is not the first time 301 is called. They don't understand the concept of speaking through the phone and not speaking through my live stream. This person calls every live stream and does the same thing. Calls in. You realize you have to turn my live off to have a conversation, right? What's up?
Hi.
Hi.
Oh no, I'm not a Republican. I just say I agree with you.
I know, but you call in a lot and you hang up when I pick up the phone.
No, I didn't hear you. My bad.
All right, what's up?
Oh, I just wanted to say, I agree with you.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you, buddy. Take care.
You too.
To the guy in chat, we got a lot of crybabies in chat today, a lot of chuds crying in the chat, such as this guy, CCVE, or whatever his name is. He's really upset in the chat right now. He's crying. Well, he's going to have to get over it. There's not a thing you're going to be able to do about it, bud. All right? A channel about whatever, whenever, one love. Cringe. Cringe. What about Obama? Oh, yeah, well, what about Biden? What about JFK? That's what I'm going to start doing when Trump supporters say, what about Biden? I'm going to go, well, what about Clinton? What about Reagan? What about Nixon? What about John F. Kennedy? What about George Washington? Yeah. Antifa is literally patriotic because Antifa simply means that you're anti-fascist, right? We should all be anti-fascist, such as the people who stormed the beaches of Normandy. They were Antifa. Christopher, thank you for the super chat. Said, I'd love MAGA to explain the difference between patriotism and nationalism. Well, I certainly can. MAGA doesn't know the difference. They're going to Google it right now. Illusion, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat, dude. I think the conversation should be about Turning Point USA destroying the evidence directly afterward. Well, I'm sure they're going to get into that. I'm sure there's going to be conversations about that. Well, that's what that last thing was about when they were talking about transparency with the evidence. Like, I don't know. I think they feel whatever they have shows that Tyler Robinson did it, and they really this is in her mind. She's more concerned with not looking like. I think she's more concerned with her reputation than getting justice for her husband. What about King George? What about All right, the phone lines are open. Why don't you give a call in? You have a lot to say, dude. Why aren't you calling in? And then, of course, we have the never-ending war in Iran, which I've debated several times, and Trump supporters said, give him a chance. Come on. It's only going to be a 4-week war. He's doing this for our country. They were wrong about that, too, because they're wrong about everything. No, I'm not explaining it to you in the chat. You can call in, and you can have a conversation with me like a grown adult, 908-652-3703. Or you can be scared to say you support Trump out loud. I guess that's what you want to do. Alicia, thank you for the $10 super chat, Alicia. Appreciate you so much.
Aaron Burton.
You guys can also support on Venmo and Cash App. I pinned it there. It pisses Republicans off. Make sure you give me a message. Just say it, and I'll say it out loud. 715, what's going on?
Hi, how's it going?
It's going just fine. Can I help you, or what's up?
So, the prompt here is about Trump, right?
Whatever it is, yeah, I don't know. Says Trump is a bad president, I guess. Antifa is patriotic.
And Antifa's patriotic.
Yep.
Okay. I guess why is Trump a bad president?
For a number of different reasons. Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Why is Trump a bad president? I mean, I would start first and foremost, since it's the topic of the day, his immigration policies are terrible. But I think if you're looking for a more general answer, not focused on specific policies, I would say Donald Trump is a fascist, right? He's a far right-wing wannabe authoritarian.
What's a fascist?
Fascism is an ideology. It's an ultranationalist, authoritarian political ideology. I typically like to use Lawrence Britt's 14 tenets as an accurate scale to determine whether or not someone's a fascist. We can go through it if you'd like. Ultranationalist, having a disdain for human rights, attacking higher education, things like that.
Okay. Fair enough.
So which one would you like to do? You want to talk about fascism or you want to talk about Antifa? Which one do you want to do? Because they kind of go hand in hand. We want to talk about, we can kind of do both. Right? Do you think being anti-fascist is patriotic?
Being anti-fascist is patriotic? Yes, I would agree with that.
Okay, so you agree with the state.
I don't really think Trump's a fascist because he's not a dictator.
He wants to be.
He's still a democracy. He was elected, right? I mean, we had a vote, we had an election, and now he's here. I don't think he's been doing anything that's fascistic. I mean, everything he's been doing, people have been voting for, except for maybe a few things. But I mean, let's be honest. Every single president we've ever had, there's been things they've done that voters probably didn't vote for. But I think for the most part, Trump was like, "Hey, yeah, we're getting the illegals out of here," and that's what he's been doing. So I don't really see a problem there.
Do you think in that process people's constitutional rights have been violated? And by the way, just so you know, like dictators do get elected. Okay, it happens all the time, and then they get it in power, and they go through a process of consolidating power. Like, I hope you understand that. Like, that happens all the time.
Sure,
it's not unusual.
I agree
Vladimir
with you.
Putin was elected in 2000, right? Like,
I agree with you.
Hitler was appointed chancellor in 1933. He wasn't a dictator immediately until he passed the Enabling Act. So, like, there is a process of consolidating power, whether or not one was elected or whether or not the country was democratic prior to the takeover doesn't mean they're not a dictator, right? So there's a process involved. But regardless, as concerns immigration policy, do you think people's constitutional rights have been infringed upon through Donald Trump's immigration policies, deportation operations?
Not that I've seen. I've heard of these, fringe cases, and every time I look into them, I when you dive deeper beneath the surface, you figure out actually it's just a bunch of BS, and people are just trying to make it a bigger deal than it actually is. Usually a gang member or something.
Really? Was Alex Preddy a gang member?
Alex Preddy?
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to remind me on that case. There's been quite a few.
Well, you're right. There has been quite a few. Thank you for proving my point. Alex Preddy is an American citizen who was killed in Minnesota in front of Glamgall Donuts. Are you familiar with this case, sir?
I'm trying to remember.
You don't know who Alex Preddy is?
No, the name is very, yes. I'm trying to recall. I really am. I'm not in the daily news all day long.
But that's why you don't understand that people's constitutional rights have been infringed upon. These aren't fringe cases. American citizens have been assaulted, illegally searched, arrested, property seized,
no, I remember.
killed.
I remember Alex Preddy. Yeah, sorry, I was getting his name mixed up with another person.
And what justified Alex Preddy's death?
That specific one. Now that I recall it, actually, that one. To be honest, I was like, I don't know if he actually. It was a really tricky situation. The body cam footage on that one was.
What body cam footage?
Maybe not the body cam footage, but the footage from people taking videos around the actual scene of the crime or whatever. I do remember it being like very fuzzy and like is that a gun or is that not a gun?
At all. The footage was clear as day. What are you talking about?
All right, you may be right. I don't know.
I mean, again, we point to the biggest case, probably greatest example of one's rights being infringed upon. They were murdered in the street for exercising their constitutional rights, First and Second Amendment in particular, filming protected by the First Amendment, and was murdered. He happened to be carrying a firearm, which is within his Second Amendment right. It's funny, Republicans go from talking all about the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, and the minute someone who disagrees with them has a gun on them, they deserve to die. That's MAGA in a nutshell right there. But that's an example of an individual who was, and since you're not super familiar with it, I'm going to explain what happened. This person was exercising their constitutional rights. They were filming, using their right to protest, their First Amendment, using their speech. Lee, thank you so much. Appreciate the Venmo, Lee. Thank you so much for the support. That person was thrown to the ground. Their firearm was taken off them. They were disarmed, and then they were shot 12 times.
Right.
Yep.
No, yeah, I do recall that was that last
is a name I've done more, like in terms of the activism community, in the last 2 weeks than you've probably done in your entire life. So shut the fuck up. Now go ahead.
Me?
Sorry. No, I'm talking to someone in the chat.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I don't mean to be.
No, I'm just trying to explain to you that these are cases all over that happen continuously. Renee Good is another case.
Okay, that one I disagree with. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to disagree with that one.
Sure, go ahead.
She okay. You don't ram into a police officer, and you could say, "Oh, it was a love tap. It was a love tap." Okay. Yeah, she did. I saw the video.
Yep, so did I. She didn't.
Okay, well, half the country says she did. Half the country says she didn't, because if it's your political ideology, it fits mine. So I don't know what to say. I saw it with my own eyes. She definitely hit him.
Okay, and what is an ICE agent instructed to do in a circumstance where an individual is driving away? And by the way, her wheels were pointed in the opposite direction. There are pictures out there all over. I can provide them for you if you'd like, of him leaning into the vehicle to fire a shot through the windshield. What is ICE trained to do in that type of situation?
Sure. In a specific situation like that, going to be very honest, I don't know. But here's the thing. Across the country, we got, 350 million people in this country. There's interactions with the police all the time. You're going to have incidents like that once in a while. It's amazing that we don't have more of that, quite frankly. And when those things happen,
we do.
They have to be judged accordingly. And gosh, I'll tell you what, Minnesota had a lot of heat in the last few years. And I tell you what, if they find something with that specific ICE agent, he's going to go to jail. I have no doubt, because that's what happens.
Yeah, so I'll explain this. Basically, you're under the assumption that she was driving at the officer. She wasn't. That's number one. The wheel was turned in the opposite direction. Number two, ICE are not police. They're immigration customs enforcement. They enforce civil immigration law. They have very limited jurisdiction over the American people. Their jurisdiction is if someone is directly obstructing their ability to conduct an investigation, they have the right to detain them. They are not allowed to approach vehicles and rip people out of the car that aren't obstructing them in any way. ICE's own rules prohibit them from firing at moving vehicles. Their policy says do not discharge firearms for the purpose of disabling a moving
What happened
vehicle.
to that guy?
Deadly force. The federal government protected them. The federal government won't even let the state of Minnesota have access to the evidence in that case. Can you explain why? But before I'd say that, let me finish. Deadly force is only when the driver is threatening deadly force. In this case, the wheel was in the opposite direction, so there is no shooting to stop fleeing vehicles. The legal standard is imminent threat of death or serious injury. This officer, this immigration agent clearly had the opportunity to step out of the way, and I can provide you a picture if you want of him leaning into the vehicle. It's clear as day. There's many pictures out now of this. You asked what happened to him. Can you tell me why the federal government prohibits the state of Minnesota from having access to the evidence in this case?
I have no idea. I'm not going to lie. I don't know.
Okay, well, it is a fact, and you can fact check me. I'm just curious, because if we're talking about transparency and it's clear as day, as you said, that she deserved to die, then I have to ask you, why was the federal government refusing access to the evidence in this case? Why have these people not been held accountable? Why is the state, which typically in this case the state would have at least have access to that evidence, have access to the crime scene, have access to interviews, and they didn't in this case?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I mean, look, what they're trained to do is step out of the path. You don't put yourself in the path of a vehicle. Okay, they're trained to never approach a vehicle from the front, which he did. You're supposed to use what they call a tactical L. All right, have you ever heard of that? 90 degree angle, so that way they don't get run over. So they're not supposed to walk in front of a vehicle where there's someone inside in the driver's seat, right? They specifically train them this way. So this officer abandoned its training. And they're also trained to de-escalate in their limited training they do have. So the training says, don't step in front of a car, step aside, tag the plate, pull it over, call the police, whatever the case is. But that's de-escalation 101. And he did none of those things because he was angry and wanted to kill her. He wanted to kill her, and he did.
I can walk back. Some of these things, some of these cases. I just got to say though, when you have...
So 1 second, taking notes, you're 100% right, and I agree with you. And the fact that people think that people should pull over for masked agents in unidentified vehicles that anyone drives, right? ICE is not driving some specialized vehicle that has ICE markings on it. They're driving vehicles that Cindy drives to the grocery store or Bob drives to work. It is unbelievable. The federal government has the expectation that American citizens should pull over and assume that it's ICE when they have ski masks on and have vests on you could buy on Amazon for $35. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with what some of you're saying. I believe it or not, I have issues with Trump too. I'm not just a diehard, mega. There's some things that he's done. I'm like, okay.
Bro, I just don't think you have enough if you want me to be completely honest with you, I just don't think you have enough information. And I think you need to look into this case a little bit closer instead of just saying, oh, well, he was trying to run her over. You need to look at the angle of the wheel. If this case was investigated properly and they allowed for an actual investigation, this guy would be prosecuted. There was no evidence she was armed, no evidence she was using the car as a weapon in a way that created an imminent deadly threat to that agent. His training says that if he's able to step out of the way he should, he was on the front left side of the vehicle. He wasn't even in front of it. He was on the front left fender by the headlight. He leaned over the hood to shoot through the windshield. Okay? He was not directly in the car's path. And even if he was, he had opportunity to move out of the way. It's not like she slammed on the gas. She didn't slam on the gas until he started firing his firearm. So if we're either going to point to their training credibility or we're going to say that this officer tried to kill her. It's one of the two.
My question for you is what should we do then? Like,
abolish
there's
ICE.
Gonna abolish ICE. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And just not deport any illegals at all. Any
so that's a question with much nuance that we'd have to discuss, but and we could certainly do that if you want to have that conversation. So basically, I don't think ICE is doing anything to benefit the American people. It costs billions of dollars to conduct this mass deportation operation in which they are infringing on the rights of American citizens. They are assaulting protesters. They are killing people. They are killing people who are documented. They're killing people who are undocumented. The facilities in which these for-profit prisons where they house people are being accused of inhumane treatment, sexual assault, feeding them food that's not for human consumption. So I think this whole thing needs to be shut down. But if we just get to the bare bones of this argument and have a discussion about whether or not undocumented immigrants are a net positive or a net negative on our society in terms of whether or not mass deportation benefits the American people, we can do that, right? Are undocumented immigrants a net positive or net negative?
Undocumented, net positive or net negative? It'd be a net negative, for sure, because well, if you do the polls, the amount of people, there's like 1 billion people around the world. 1 billion people would move to the U.S. if they had the chance. They would do it in a heartbeat. Okay, well, you would agree that you can't have 1 billion people move to the U.S. Like it just
wait. You're arguing something I'm not arguing. If you're talking about having an dismantling the immigration system entirely, that's not what I said. What I'm saying is it needs to be fixed. It's a broken system. It needs to be easier to become an American. It needs to be easier to become an American citizen. Immigrants largely built this country. That needs to be acknowledged. And that when we look at certain things like do undocumented immigrants commit crime? Is that the reason for mass deportation? When we look, undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crime than an American-born citizen. Undocumented immigrants commit far less crime, every category of crime. is committed much more by American citizens. So it can't be about crime, as they commit way less per capita, right? Well, is it what is it? Is it fiscally, like their fiscal burden? Well, undocumented immigrants contribute $100 billion at a federal, state, and local level in taxes, right? Can you provide me a number that exceeds their tax contributions?
But how much do they take? How much do they take in taxes too? That's
right.
Another thing.
Right. They put in more to the system than they take out, largely because they are explicitly prohibited by federal law from receiving federal benefits. So they largely pay into programs like Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid that they are explicitly prohibited from benefiting from, meaning they're subsidizing those programs. They've even gone as far as reducing the deficit. They are absolutely a net positive, unless you can provide me a study that indicates undocumented immigrants are a net negative and tell me where that money is coming from.
Yeah.
Because every credible study out there that tries to make it seem like undocumented immigrants are a net negative does the same exact thing. And they include the cost of children of undocumented immigrants because they can't do it with the population that's actually undocumented. And according to the 14th Amendment, those are American citizens.
The undocumented?
The children born in the United States from undocumented immigrants are absolutely American citizens.
Yeah, I know. That's one of the amendments.
So you can't count the cost of children from undocumented immigrants as a cost of undocumented immigrants because they're American citizens who grow up to pay taxes. And so you would have to consider their future tax contributions to offset the fiscal burden if you're doing a credible analysis and not trying to unfairly inflate that burden.
Right. Well, I appreciate the call. I don't know as much as I probably should, so I'm probably gonna hop off.
Do you have a number of? You said they're a net negative. Where did you get the number from? Where? Just be honest with me. Tell me. Don't run from me. Tell me why you think they were a net negative, so we can go through.
I'm not running. I feel like I'm pretty cordial.
I'm not attacking you. I want you to be better, dude. I want you to do better. I want you to stop falling victim to this bullshit right-wing propaganda that's not true. I want you to be better in life. You can be better. I wouldn't waste my time if I didn't think you could do it. I'm wasting my time because I think you can. I think you're smart enough to look at actual data and realize you were wrong. Can you provide for me what you read, what you listened to that led you to believe undocumented immigrants are net negative?
Good question. I mean, if you look at all the daycare fraud, the Somalian fraud, that's a big thing. Costs billions of dollars in taxpayer money, going straight back to Somalia. That's just one thing out of so many. Then you have,
how much do you think that is?
The cost of illegals coming across the border, and then having to go in and all the court cases are fining them and spending money on all that, and then you have the sex trafficking, you have the for women and children across the border, all the children that are missing, all these things. Like there's a lot more than just money.
Do you know American citizens are far more responsible for committing sex trafficking than undocumented immigrants? That category of crime, all categories.
It's all about what you're prioritizing, though. That's the thing. That's the problem I see here. Is like you're not prioritizing American citizens. You're prioritizing illegal immigrants.
No, I'm not.
And that's a problem. That's a
I'm
problem.
not
I think
prioritizing anything. What I'm telling you. I'm not prioritizing. What I'm explaining to you is that we're spending billions and billions, if not trillions of dollars to remove them with little to no benefit to the American taxpayer. Understand? The American taxpayer is not benefiting from mass deportation. The American taxpayer is being killed in the street. The American taxpayer is paying for something that they're not getting anything in return. That's the point I'm trying to make to you. I don't believe that violent criminals, I think whenever you consider any population of people, there's going to be bad eggs, right? What I'm explaining to you is statistically, when it comes to undocumented immigrants, there are very few. Concerning the population that's currently present here in the United States.
You got to use that same logic with ICE, though, because you listed a few cases, and it's like, well, I could do the same thing with, undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants, like, yeah, there's lots of cases where they're raping and killing people. And you'd be like, well, those are just fringe cases. Well, it's really important though, And I will acknowledge, and I will grant you that when ICE is messing up, that's a big deal. When ICE
Sir,
messes
do you understand
up,
the distinct difference between those two and why that's a false equivalency?
Explain it to me.
Because the undocumented immigrants who kill American citizens get prosecuted. One of the biggest cases that Republicans cite as their justification for mass deportation is the Laken Riley case. Laken Riley's killer is in prison. We already have systems in place to remove violent criminals when they commit violent acts. Overwhelmingly. Undocumented immigrants who commit undocumented immigrants who commit crimes. No, you're wrong. I know what you're going to say.
There's a lot of repeat offenders, dude.
You're not correct.
Yeah, the prison system's pretty broken, dude.
Not when it comes to undocumented immigrants. We have systems in place. When you commit crimes, you're already deported. We already have those systems. Yeah, we do. Would you like to prove me wrong? Because you can't. You're just listening to what you're told. Listen to me. When people, ICE agents, right, who are killing people are not held accountable. ICE agents who are committing rape have not been held accountable. ICE agents who murder American citizens have not been held accountable. We've been arrested,
right.
but we're not holding them accountable. And you do hold undocumented immigrants who commit violent crime accountable. And by the way, this is not even the same thing, okay? I mean, it's completely a false equivalency. These are people who work for the federal government. These aren't just civilians, okay? These are people who work for the federal government, and they're not being held accountable. We have always arrested people for committing violent crime in this country, regardless of their documentation status. Can you provide me some kind of study that proves that undocumented immigrants are committing violent crimes and getting away with it at a rate that contributes to a rising crime rate in any county in this country? I challenge you to provide me one credible study.
No, I don't have.
So where are you getting the information from?
The fact that the illegal immigrants are committing crimes.
That undocumented immigrants are committing crimes and getting away with it. Show me where you got that from.
That wasn't my argument. My argument
literally
was
said
that
they're being released back and they're reoffending. I'm asking what study do you have that shows that undocumented immigrants are reoffending and committing crimes that contribute to a rising crime rate? I would love to see some kind of study, because every study indicates they commit far less crime than American-born citizens. You're saying because there's cases of ICE agents, it's okay because ultimately this benefits the American.
I'm not saying it's okay.
You literally did.
You can point to fringe cases wherever you go.
You literally did.
No, I'm saying you can point to isolated cases wherever you go. I mean,
it's not isolated. It's not isolated. I can give you multiple detention centers off the top of my head that are committing human rights violations right now. I've just spent a ton of time.
How do you know though? And how do you know you're not just hearing it from the people that you subscribe to?
Here's projection. Do you know how I know?
Please tell me.
Because I was there. You clearly
you were there.
That's right. Okay. I've spent the last couple months reporting on the ground at Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey. Have you ever watched my content before? You really should.
Never heard of you.
Well,
I've never heard of you.
You really should. You should look into it.
Okay.
And you'll see. I go to these places.
I may be one of the rare people you talk to that have an open mind about things.
Okay, so when you have an open mind, you don't know much. You got to listen more and stop listening to respond. Okay, if you knew anything, you'd know. I go to these places. I do work on the ground in these places. I'm involved with organizations all over the country, and I spend time there, and I document, and I research, and I shoot video, and I interview people, and I do all of these things.
What's your goal?
So, are you on TikTok?
No, I don't go on TikTok.
Well, that's why you've never seen me before then. But I encourage, if you were on TikTok, if you type in my same name here on TikTok, you will see me over there doing all of this work. That's the primary platform that I do it on. And I just started Instagram the last year. Are you on Instagram?
Nope.
All right. Well, you're not on social media, so clearly you're not going to see my shit, dude.
Well, I'm on Facebook, and
I'm not on Facebook.
Okay, well, I don't think it's really my fault that I haven't seen your stuff if I'm not.
Yeah, if you cared about, if you were at all researching like immigration stuff, you probably would have came across my stuff, but you haven't because you're not researching it. When you came into this live, you were unaware that undocumented immigrants are, by every credible study, a net positive on the economy, largely through their tax
I've heard of that study before. I have. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not a study; it's a fact, right? We can look at data and see that they contribute.
You did say there were studies, but
no, I'm saying you haven't let me finish. You cut me off. So how can I possibly finish? What I'm saying is there are numbers that prove, the study proves they're net positive. I'm just saying largely through the tax system. They're contributing $100 billion at a federal, state, and local level. They're contributing to programs, right? Federal programs like Social Security, in which they don't receive any benefit from, which means they're subsidizing these programs. This money goes directly in the pockets of American citizens who need it. So I'm just looking at the overall benefit for the American taxpayer, right? You wouldn't say, because there are American citizens who commit, I don't know, sexual assault, that it would be justified for ICE to brutalize the entire population to remove those who commit sexual assault, correct?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second.
You wouldn't say it's justified to brutalize the entire country, the entire population, because there are a few people who commit violent crimes such as sexual assault, correct?
Correct.
Okay, why is it okay with this particular population of people, including the American citizens who face those same consequences?
Because we have to follow the laws. We have laws that dictate you can't come here. You're breaking the law when you come here illegally. You got to do it like everybody else. I know a lot of legal immigrants. They're really pissed off. They're really pissed off because they did it the right way.
Okay.
And you got all these people budging in line.
Can I ask you really quick, who'd you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
Okay. So you voted for a criminal, a felon, a 4-time indicted felon, by the way. A convicted felon. You're aware of that, correct?
Yes, I am aware of that.
Okay, so then you don't care about crime. Donald Trump is a convicted felon, civilly liable rapist, okay, an insurrectionist.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but, okay, that's where you lose me because...
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because of all the... Yeah, because, well, why were they all dropped? Why was everything dropped? Why isn't he in prison right now?
That case wasn't dropped.
Okay, well... What's happening with
again? This is why you're a Trump supporter. You have very low information.
There's no grounds for them to stand upon.
Sure. So
obviously they were going after him because they didn't want him to be president.
No,
obviously,
that's not why.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'll explain it to you. You said they went after him because he wanted to be president. So first of all, just to clear up, there's so much misinformation coming out of your mouth. It's so hard to correct it all. First thing, it was a civil case of E. Jean Carroll. It did not get dropped. There was a judgment in that case. He was found civilly liable in that case. That's the rape case I'm talking about. So no, that case was not dropped. Okay, that's number one. Number two, there were 4 criminal cases. 4, right? There was a state case in New York. There were 2 federal cases, and then there was a RICO case in Georgia, right? Can you tell me anything about those 4 cases?
No, I can't off the top of my head. I don't do this for a living.
Do you know why you can't? Because you never took the time to look at the indictments.
I did
No, you
when
didn't.
they were surfacing.
Then you would be able to specifically tell me.
I can't remember.
Hey, you would be able to
every
specific.
fact that
So,
comes
dude,
my
it's
way,
it's been.
I can't remember everything.
I don't debate the indictments every day. I know them because I read them. And I can tell you right off the top of my head, he was convicted for falsifying business records to hide campaign finance violations. The second case, which is the first federal case, was willful retention of classified documents and obstruction of justice. Donald Trump was largely responsible for interfering in the investigation. The third case was conspiracy to defraud the United States. That was a federal case. And then you had the Georgia case, which is a RICO case. I know this because I read the indictments. You said he was indicted because they wanted to keep him from being president of the United States, which is not true. And if you knew anything about these cases, you would know those 2 federal cases were overloading with evidence, especially the documents case, because the documents case was less about his willful All right, you're not interested. You're not interested in learning. Listen, Good luck.
Yeah.
You're going to remain dumb because you're refusing to be educated on things you don't know about. That is a sign of a low IQ, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to explain to you why these cases were dropped. These cases were dropped because the Department of Justice has a long-standing policy that they don't prosecute sitting presidents,
Dude,
not
why
because
are you
he's
insulting
innocent.
my IQ? What's your IQ?
Because you're dumb. You're refusing to
What's your
accept
IQ?
information
What's your IQ?
higher than yours.
What is it?
All right, if you tell me what IQ stands for, I'll tell you. I didn't think so. Have a good day. You're not willing to learn. You're not a serious person. You're going to sigh and say, yeah, whatever, when I'm trying to explain to you these criminal cases, which I have no problem explaining, by the way. No problem explaining whatsoever, which I was going to get into helping you understand that. A good example would be the second federal case where they didn't want to indict Donald Trump. That dismantles your entire argument. Donald Trump was convicted in that case because he spent countless time trying to interfere with the investigation. They wouldn't have just indicted him over the possession of those documents. But Donald Trump repeatedly interfered with the investigation. He lied to investigators. He ordered that boxes be moved after receiving a government subpoena. He ordered they destroy evidence. He lied on an affidavit. This is what I'm talking about. You're just not willing to listen to this information. And if you were, then maybe you would learn. But you're not willing to learn. Joel, shut up. God, so many crybaby Trump supporters in the chat. They just constantly cry. It's like endless crying. Endless crying. And they're never going to learn anything, right? This stuff is easily explained. But they're not interested. They don't want to hear it. Call in. We're not interested in your crying. Oh my God, this has got to be the dumbest shit I've ever. Some of these comments are literally brain rot. This guy says Dan Blazarian 2028, which is just fucking insane. That was triggering? Well, you know that is, right? That's a good thing if you get triggered by that. This guy just called in and then hung up. Let's see. Maybe he's a little worried. This guy said, "You're mad, you're wrong, that Trump is good and is great." Did you guys read that comment? You're
Telephone
mad,
number
you're wrong.
405.
This is one of the best comments so far from a Trump supporter. You're mad, you're wrong, that Trump is good and is great. You can't make this shit up. You really can't make this shit up. What about Dick Cheney? Rotten hell. How about that? Cancerous. Do you know what the issue with your statement is? You spelled Cato with a K. Okay? Cato is spelled with a C. That's how I know you've never... All a bunch of yes men who can't understand the politics that are being told them. Yep, I agree, Sam. It's sad, really. And honestly, like, I wanted to give that guy an opportunity because I felt that he might be able to listen and understand that he's been lied to. But he's so indoctrinated. He's so convinced that what I'm saying to him is not true because I don't know if his mom or dad told him. Where do you stand on the Charlie Kirk stance? What do you mean? What do you mean? I think his death is suspicious as fuck. But, I mean, I don't follow it that closely because it is what it is. Fox News is not news. Yeah, well, that's the sky is also blue.
Call from
Keith.
Keith, why you call me from an unknown number?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay, that was nice, Keith. That must have been worth it, I guess. I don't know. Let's call this number that called as well. I was on the phone there. Somebody said Trump was the pew-pewer for Charlie. No. It was probably Bibi, honestly. I'm not a Democrat, Rare. You don't know what the fuck you're talking. Hello.
I'd love to call you back in a minute. I'd love to have a speech with you. I'm speaking to my daughter at the moment.
Dude,
I'd love to talk to you though.
Dude, this is Larry's Pizza.
Oh, is this not the podcast?
No, this is Larry's Pizza down the road. Somebody had called earlier for a large cheese pie.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I'm talking to my daughter at the moment.
Call back later.
Thank you.
Bye. Damn. Republicans are not allowed to call Joe Biden Sleepy Joe anymore because Donald Trump falls asleep every 5 minutes. Wild Bill says this guy loves to block people with actual facts. No, Wild Bill, we just don't listen to yapping in the chat. Call in. Anyone can call in. We're just not interested in you yapping in the chat. Call in the phone number and tell me how you feel, bro. That's it. That's all. Yeah, I'm American. Yellow.
Hey, what's up there, anti-American bashing Adam?
What do you mean, anti-American?
Oh, yeah, dude, give me a break. You are you're such a basher, and you're such a denier, bro.
Not anti-American.
Yes, you are. You're very anti-American. Yes, you are. You believe in nonsense, and you follow nonsense.
All right, give me an example of something nonsensical that I believe in.
Nonsensical, because you believe that everybody was bad that created this country. So listen, let me ask you something. Why are you still here? Why didn't you pack your bags and disappear after your parents died? Why didn't you just say, this country sucks shit and I gotta leave? Why didn't you do that? Why are you still here trying to fight a fight? And you defend illegals.
I was born here.
Who cares? Who cares? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
So why don't you
I was
leave?
born here too.
So leave if you don't like it.
No. I love my country. See, that's the difference between me and you. I can accept the differences. I can accept everything that went wrong.
Listen, and
I do listen to you, dude. I watched you. I just watched you for like the last 20 minutes.
210
and all you do is you try to bash everybody. If you weren't getting paid by someone else, you wouldn't be online. You wouldn't be online because you'd have to get a real job.
210 Rain Christopher, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. He's jealous of donations. So guys,
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous that you're getting money.
Guys,
I'm not jealous that you're getting money.
Guys, you can support me on Venmo, Adam Cray Politics, Cash App, Adam Cray. You can send a super chat.
Oh yeah. Listen, I'm not going to support you. I hope you burn, bro. Don't stop calling me Chud, bro, because you know what? I'm going to start calling you something, and you ain't going to like it.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I won't call you a Chud anymore, even though I do think you're a Chud. I'm just telling you. But anyway.
So let me explain to me. What is a Chud? What is a Chud? What is a Chud?
Cannibalistic,
what is a Chud?
Humanoid, underground dweller.
And guess what, dude?
Just listen, dude.
You didn't even grow up. You weren't even around when that movie came out.
Back, bro. I said I take it back.
You didn't even grow up when that movie came out.
Are you going to accept me taking it back? I said I take it back.
Okay, take it back.
Let's start over. Let's start over.
All right, cool. I love it.
All right. Thanks, Chud. Now, what I want you to, can you give me an example? That's
the thing.
Give me an example of me saying something that is anti-American.
Dude, you're anti-American because you hate our founding fathers. You hate our founding fathers. All of them. All of them.
Because the slave owners?
And you know what?
Like,
this is what makes me laugh.
fuck?
No, this is what makes me laugh, because how many people that in this country that they found out they were black and they had slaves?
Oh, here we go. Listen, why don't we get to modern day? Can you give me I haven't even discussed
No.
the founding fathers.
Modern
on
day.
here,
Do you
so-
buy Nike? Do you buy
I
Nike?
haven't. No, actually, I don't.
Do you buy Nike?
No, actually, I don't.
If you
So-
own Nike's
good, I don't.
a slave organization.
Yeah, I don't. So anyway, can we continue? So modern day, I have not brought up the founding fathers, maybe in passing, but I don't think I've ever had that conversation on here. But the point is, right, you brought up immigration. What about supporting immigrants who built the country is anti-American? I think supporting immigrants is as American as it gets, as we are all descendants of immigrants. You understand that,
And
right?
okay, let me ask you something. Okay, you have grandparents that are probably were immigrants. Did they get handouts? Did they get handouts?
Jeannie,
No, they
thank you
didn't.
so much, Jeannie. Jeannie,
No, they didn't.
Jeannie sent me $10 on Venmo, by the way, and said, "Chud caller made me do it." I'm sorry, they're all calling you a chud now. I'm sorry. That's not my fault because I took it back.
No, that's okay, because these are your little legions. These are your little. This is your little audience.
Listen,
that's hilarious.
They're
But
they're smarter than you. So anyway,
really. So how many?
So you can let me finish.
No, they're smarter, dude. I love
Are you
this.
gonna let
This
me
is awesome.
talk? Can I talk? Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Talk.
what about supporting immigrants is anti-American?
No, but like I just said to you, if somebody comes here and they don't get a freebie, and they don't get free meals, and they don't get free everything. Listen, when my relatives came here, they had to go to Ellis Island, and when they went to Ellis Island, they had to go through a whole thing, and then they had to be asked if they have anything to produce
What was the
for the
immigration
country.
law? What year was that?
That was back in the 30s.
Okay. What was the law in the 30s for immigration?
You had to come in and you had to pass tests to know that you weren't coming here to just flop. They wanted you to come and be a participation in society and not collect welfare, because there was no welfare back then, if you didn't know that.
Really?
There was no welfare system
So
back
hold
then.
on.
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear, let me ask you a question. What did the test say that you think there was a test? I'm just curious.
Well, for one thing, they did. They tested you to make sure you weren't bringing TB in, and they weren't.
No,
you were
you
not
said there
bringing
was a written
diseases in.
test about making sure something. I'm just curious. What
No,
was that?
they had to ask you legitimate things: where you were from, who you were.
You don't know what the law was in the 30s.
Why don't you look it up? Because I'm a chud. I'm a chud. So you're smarter than me. Wait, you're smarter than me. Why don't you know it?
Well, there was a literacy.
Okay, so
I know there was a literacy test, right? But I'm
okay, so
asking
what about people that can't read English? That's okay though.
It's a literacy test, but the point is that I'm making is that immigration law is not the same as it was in the 1930s. Okay.
No, because it's a freebie now. It's a freebie now.
It's not a freebie. What are you referring
Yes,
to?
it is a freebie.
Okay,
Yes, it is a freebie.
So first of all, this is a take that I get from the right all the time. That undocumented.
I'm not right. I told you before. Cut your shit.
Listen,
Cut your shit.
Can I finish?
I'm the
Chad?
middle of the road. I'm the middle of the road, Adam. Okay?
You're not
Don't
the
be
middle.
a dick.
You're not the middle.
Don't be a dick. I am the middle, dick. I grew up in a Democratic household, bro. I grew up in a Democratic household, and I saw how it goes both ways. Okay? I don't like I told you before, and this is where you bait, and this is where you play games. I'm in the middle of the road, and none of you leftist douchebags get it. I'm the middle.
You voted.
I'm the middle.
You voted for Trump, so that's why.
And you want to know something? You want to know something too? I voted for fucking Bill Clinton because you weren't allowed to vote for him at the fucking time. I voted for him.
Well, he's on the right too. What difference does that
He
make?
is not. You're a fucking asshole. He is not on the right, Bill Clinton.
He is.
Bill
according
Clinton's
to
more
every
left
other-
than he's more left than left.
Yeah, he's really not. But okay.
Yes,
Whatever
he
you
is.
say.
Yes, he is.
No, you
Okay,
just
so
have a
how
surface
far
level
extreme?
understanding.
Wait. So how far extreme are you going to the left at this point?
What do you mean, how far extreme am I?
So your Democratic Party that you all love and cherish, it's not good enough that your founders with your Obamas and your Clintons, what, now they're outcasts now?
Okay, hold on.
What do you think about JFK? What do you think about JFK?
Yeah, so JFK, you have to look at the time period, right? Like I would.
So JFK would be considered Republican right now?
Guy, so let me explain something to you, right? According to the rest of the world, right, liberals are considered conservative, right? Liberals are considered right.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Let me just explain something.
Wait, what planet are you on?
Can you stop pivoting really quick and just answer my question?
No, you pivot all the time. You're making this stuff up.
The original, I'm not making it up. You can look it up and you'll see that I'm right. But anyway, let me please explain something to you really quick.
Why don't you look it up?
I don't need to. So my original question to you was, what specifically are
okay, almighty mystic ruler, the almighty mystic Adam ruler knows all.
He can't shut his mouth because he's such a chud.
No,
By the way, he talks big on the computer, but he would never do anything in real life.
I don't talk big on the computer because I hate them. Go ahead.
No, I promise you wouldn't do anything in real life, though, which is why you said you were going to do something the last time and you didn't. So anyway.
because you made me upset, and I wouldn't, because I have a brain in my head that I would have a lot to lose if I did. But I asked you if you ever wanted to sit down and talk. I'm all good with that. And then you were a pussy. You were a pussy because you went, you'll hurt me. You'd hurt me. You'd hurt me.
Yeah, I never said that. You're a chud. I would laugh.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did,
listen,
bro. Yes, you did.
Can I be honest with you? What I would do, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I would laugh in your face. But can I finish, please?
I would love it.
Listen,
I would love it.
Guy, you got to let me finish. I know you don't let your wife finish, but I need to finish what I'm saying, okay? So the point is, okay, that, by the way, that went right over his head. Lorraine,
no, it didn't.
Thank you, Lorraine. So the point is, right? You right wingers, people, Republicans, MAGA, always say, why don't you let them live in your home? Undocumented immigrants are some of the hardest working people you've ever seen. They're extremely hardworking. They just want to be left alone. They don't need to live in your home. So when I asked you what handouts are they getting if they're undocumented, right? I meant what programs specifically are undocumented immigrants receiving, because federal law explicitly prohibits them from receiving the very programs you think they're benefiting from.
It's a bunch of shit, because I'm a Catholic and you're a Catholic, but you denounce your Christianity faith, but whatever. But Catholic Charities hands out money to them and they get EBT cards. And so the husbands go out and they work their asses off. And I didn't know if you knew this, but a lot of them leave their families behind in Mexico and they come here and they start new families. So they send money back to their old families while they start new families here. So their wives here, they end up getting free EBT. No, they get EBTs. Listen, no, they get EBT cards and the husbands make cash. So the husbands, I've been in Walmart before. They're bullshit. I've been in Walmart before and I've seen it happen. I've been in Food Lion before and I see it happen. They have two separate carts. Yes, they have two separate carts. One cart is full of EBT stuff and the other cart is cash. And I've seen it for years. And you know what?
So undocumented
See, this is the problem. This is the problem.
So EBT and SNAP are prohibited. They're not allowed to receive generally EBT. SNAP
bullshit. They are, because the Catholic Church helps them.
Let's look.
The Catholic Church helps them.
Well, those aren't undocumented people then. If they're receiving EBT,
yes, they are. Yes, no, because they get married and they come here. And dude,
are you gonna let me
listen,
finish? Are you gonna let me finish?
I have.
You gotta let me finish, though, right? I know you don't like letting people finish, right?
So what website are you going on? Are you going on liberal.com to see? Oh yes, he's lying, because all your fact checkers are so true.
Are you actually asking for a source? Then this would be good. I'll pull one up if you want.
No, because all your sources are garbage, like everything else. Google's garbage.
Google's garbage. Engine. Google's a search engine, not a source, chud. So
no, I'm just saying, because what it is they depict who gets popped.
Speaking, please.
It's a search engine. Yes, it's a search engine, but if it's employed and it's given money to let things pop up, it will.
Okay, can I finish? Thank you. I just want to finish speaking. You think you can let me do that? Federal law limits SNAP EBT to U.S. citizens. Anyone who receives EBT as an undocumented immigrant is not undocumented. These are qualified, lawfully present non-citizens, refugees, asylees, think people like that. Those are not undocumented immigrants. Undocumented immigrants don't meet those status requirements. So when you say undocumented immigrants, specifically, they are ineligible. They cannot get federal benefits for food stamps or anything else.
Well, that's why these guys.
Godzilla King in
with
the house.
women.
Let's go, Godzilla King. Appreciate you, Godzilla King. He says, hey, the wise guy's back. What a schmuck. He needs to get out of here and forget about it. Listen, did you go down to the Bronx? This guy doesn't even live in New York City, because if he lived in New York City...
That's funny, because the Godzilla King, I thought Godzilla came from Japan.
It's a guy in the chat, Chud. So anyway,
I know,
can you
I get
respond
it.
to what I just said about federal law limiting?
Yeah, no, because you know what? They go
All right,
around
so
everything.
Can we Google
and
it
like
together? Can we Google it together?
I'm not Googling it
Why
together.
not?
I'm talking
Why
to
don't you
you
want to Google it? Because you're scared. 'Cause
I'm
you're gonna
not
get
scared.
proven
I'm
wrong.
not
That's
scared
why
of
you're
nothing.
scared to Google it. You are scared.
I'm not scared of nothing.
You are scared.
Okay, so what happened to the 850,000 kids that disappeared? What about them? What about those undocumented kids?
850,000 kids that disappeared.
Yes, 850,000
there
kids
weren't-
disappeared. What do you think about that?
So first of all, you don't know the number. Number two, there was a paperwork issue. They counted. These aren't like children actually missing. You
Listen,
understand that, right?
listen. I'm going to settle this out, and then, I'll get off your stupid channel. This is something I'm going to settle out to you.
Okay.
Okay.
What is it?
Okay. From what I gathered from you, okay, I don't know where you graduated from. I don't know what schools you went to. You told me that everybody that died in 9/11 was a fucking asshole. That was a firefighter.
What?
You basically, you said
You
that last
just
time. I
put
said
that
I
in
had
my
friends.
mouth. I
I
never
said I had
fucking
friends,
said
and you
that.
said who cares?
I never
No, you
said
said who
that.
cares?
That's not
you
what I
said
you
who
lying
cares?
Chud.
You
I never
said who
that.
cares?
I never said
we
people who
deserved
died
it.
in 9.
We deserved
Hey,
it. Yes,
guy,
you did.
you're a
You said who
lying
cares?
Chud. You're a liar.
You said who cares?
No,
Listen, okay.
it's not
so it's
no,
all good.
What I said
no, it's all
was,
good. You were
I'm gonna
12
put
years old.
All I got to do, he's lying. He brought up Mom Donnie when I talking about 9/11, and I said I corrected him and said that's bigoted to bring up Mom Donnie, who was born in Uganda, right? He was not even from Afghanistan. Had nothing to do with Al Qaeda. A naturalized U.S. citizen. Bringing up Mom Donnie when it comes to 9/11 is bigoted. Okay, that's what I corrected you on. I never said people who died in 9/11 were assholes, you fucking liar. But I don't expect anything less from you because you are a legitimate chud. And by the way, that live is on here. You guys can go watch it if you want to see this guy's
Good.
wrong.
Good.
You know the lives are
okay.
recorded, right, Goofy?
You told me who cares? That's
No,
what you did say.
It's not relevant to Mom Donnie. You got called out for being a bigot because you said
I'm not a bigot,
brought up
dude.
Mom
I
Donnie.
know.
You literally
I know.
argued Mom Donnie in relation to 9/11.
Well, are you like related? Are you related to him? Do you love this
No,
guy?
I just
like,
don't
what's
like
up with
you.
you?
I don't
You
like
live in
you
New
just thinking
Jersey.
because someone's
You live
brown.
under one of the biggest dictators
I don't live in New Jersey.
in the whole country. Your
don't live in
governor's
New
a
Jersey.
dictator.
I don't live
Oh,
in
you
New
don't?
Jersey.
But you have a
No.
908. Why didn't you
Yeah.
change your phone number
You think
then?
that's my personal phone number on the live stream, Chud?
Why didn't you change your phone? Oh, so you play the game. You're in New Jersey.
No,
Oh,
Chud. It's a Google voice number, Chud.
get it. I
Chud.
get it. No,
Chud, it's a
I get
Google
it.
voice
It's a
number.
disguise
Listen.
because you don't want no one knowing
Let me
your
just say
real
this.
number.
Let me just say this.
I
to you.
get it.
Why
So
would
you
I put
hide
my
behind a
real
mask.
number on a live
You
stream?
hide behind a mask.
Oh my God! This. Oh wait, do you care?
I
that
call
ICE wears
in. I
masks?
call in with my number,
Do
but you
do
get to
care
hide
that ICE
behind a
wears-
mask.
Do you care that ICE wears masks?
And what about those other people?
Do you care that ICE wears masks?
You know why? Because they're not coming to my house.
You won't answer. I thought you didn't care that ICE wears masks. I thought you defended that.
I don't give a shit.
There you
Oh, what
go.
about?
There
Okay, so
you
what
go.
about all the Antifa? What about Antifa? They wear masks.
Hey, Unpaid Resistance, thank you for the $1.99 super chats that support.
What about Antifa? Antifa wears masks.
Thank you, Unpaid. Godzilla King, thank you so much. Hey, don't be
What about
Antifa? I
Antifa?
also a movie of me in New York caller. It was horrible like you. Listen, this guy is not tough. He's just very, very childish. And look, it's because he's kind of dumb. Like, I'm not trying to be mean or anything. I'm not trying to be mean. But
No, you are, because you insult people, because that's what you do.
Well, listen,
until it's going to come time. Until it's going to come time when you're gonna have to talk to someone like an adult.
I do it all the time. You're
No,
not
you don't.
acting like an adult.
You don't work.
You're
You
not
don't
acting
work.
like an adult. You're acting
But you
like
don't
a
work.
child. I know.
You don't
I'm sure
work.
you think that, right? But whatever.
No,
you
you
say.
don't.
Okay.
No, you don't, because you get funded. You told me already. You're a Soros boy. You told me you're a Soros boy.
Well, listen, George Soros does happen to have me on his payroll, but that's irrelevant, dude.
But yeah, okay. So how much does he pay you? How much does he give you every month to stay online? Because
Roughly
I'm
$1
telling
million
you,
a year.
if you had to really work for $1, then maybe we would have a good conversation. Because I'll tell you, I know American history,
Roughly,
and yes.
you want me to tell you how much Soros pays me or not?
Oh, please. You're never going to tell the truth because you don't
I'll
tell the
you,
truth.
dude. I'm going to honestly tell you the truth.
You
There's-
don't. You
there's
try.
not
I
that-
heard.
dude, there's
Like
not
I
that
said,
many
I heard.
people-
I heard the one guy
Listen,
calling.
There's not that many people in here right now, so I'm going to tell you the truth. George Soros gives me
Oh,
about
please. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
Listen.
it because that's what happens. You have people bounce in and out like a bunch of whores, and then you're telling me, oh, I have this big fan base.
It's
and I
about
have
$1
this and I
million
have that.
a year. It's about $1 million a year.
Yeah, and I could believe it.
Yeah,
I can believe it.
Honestly, like, it's really great, and he just tells me, "Look, go online and just dunk on these chuds." And the other day it was funny because
And
there's this
I love
guy.
it. I love
Let me
it.
tell you this story real quick. This guy Ralph was like, that dude who called the other day with the accent. He's one of the dumbest fucks I've ever heard in my life. And I was like, dude, if he knew you said that, and we were laughing. There was a room full of people laughing at you. And I was like, yeah, and we were all in this meeting, and then like the head of Antifa came in, and he's like, what are you guys laughing at? And we were like, nothing, don't worry about it. And it was this whole thing.
And you know what, dude? It's sad because you're a sellout. You're a sellout. You're not American.
Bro,
Americans don't
this
do
simple?
this.
Are you this simple? Like, honestly.
No, it's not even that. I believe in God, and
You
I
don't,
follow
but you
what I have
don't,
to follow.
But you don't. You're legitimately going to hell if it exists. Like, legitimately.
And where are you going? Where are you going?
I'm going to heaven.
Where
if
are
it
you going?
exists.
No, you're not, because you hate your own
Dude, I've
roots
already
of being
decided that-
baptized.
I've already
You were
decided you're going-
baptized.
I've
You
already
were
decided you're
baptized.
going to hell.
Listen,
I've
no,
already
but
decided
when you're
you're going to hell.
baptized,
And do
okay,
you know
good.
Antifa's the only people getting into heaven?
Oh my goodness, you guys are so fucking ass backwards. You're so ass backwards.
This guy's laugh that's a serial
You're
killer laugh.
baptized. If you're baptized Catholic, good luck. Because
Good luck.
you renounce.
Listen, can I just
you
say
renounce
one
your
thing?
Lord and Savior.
Let me just say one thing.
No, you
really
don't
quick.
have to. You said enough.
You gotta
said
stop.
enough. You
You
people
gotta-
are.
He's losing it, guys. This dude is crazy. Watch, hold on. I wasn't done with it. Hold on. Watch. Listen,
I can't.
You just
I
got to
can't.
listen to this really quick. This last thing.
I
All
can't.
I have to
I
say
can't.
to
No,
you
it's
is,
not a
listen,
thing.
It's a
You're
peace
an
thing.
evil prick.
It's a
You're an
peace-
evil
all right,
demonic
it's a
prick.
peace thing. I think we'll
You're
become,
an evil demonic
I
prick.
think
You're
we'll
an evil
beca-
demonic prick.
Listen, I think we'll
Jesus, have mercy on your
Listen,
soul.
I think we'll become
because
friends.
you're going to hell.
I think we're gonna
because
become friends
You're a
after I say this.
blasphemer. You're
After-
a blasphemer. Goodbye, blasphemer.
Guy, after I say
Goodbye.
this, we're going to
Goodbye,
become friends. You're a blasphemer. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think you're gay for me.
Can I
think you're gay for me because you know what? You are so gay. You are so gay. No, I'm done. I'm done. You're a blasphemer. I don't want to hear this. You're a demonic piece of shit. And you know what? You're going to hell before I am because you're taking
Your
evil
church molests
devil
children.
money. You're a devil.
Your church
devil
molests
money.
children.
devil money. No
Your church
bullshit,
molests
dude.
children.
Yeah, okay. Dude, who doesn't? You
Your
think
church-
the Arabs don't? You think the Arabs don't? You don't think the Somalis don't? They all do. They're all disgusting.
Did you
And you know
just
what?
say
You're
who
disgusting
doesn't?
because you were baptized. And
Did
you know
you
what?
just say
You know
who
what?
doesn't?
You're going to get your feet to the fire worse than I am because at least I'm trying. And you know what, dude? You're going to burn too. And you know what? Don't
can't
talk
believe
to me.
you
You're a
just said that.
blasphemer.
I can't believe you
can't
just said
believe
that.
you said Antifa's going to heaven. Those people are scumbags. You're a scumbag too.
Listen,
Go fuck yourself.
I can't believe you said that. Oh my God. Holy shit. All right. Let's we got to start the gifting goal back. You're a blasphemer. Does it get any better than that, dude? You're a blasphemer. And you said Antifa is going to heaven. Antifa is going to heaven, dude. Antifa is going to heaven, man. I'm sorry to tell you. Let's try one more time. We got to give him a couple seconds to cool down. No, I'm not done with him.
What do you want?
I want to tell you that I just hung up the live, dude, and I just wanted to say, because honestly, like, I don't want to leave on a bad note. Okay?
You are, though. You are. You fucking make fun of me. You insult
I don't
me.
want to leave on a bad note. All right? So let me just
But
say
you
this
did.
really
But you did.
All right, let me say this really quick before we go. With all due respect, from the bottom of my heart, I don't apologize. You're a chud and get all right?
That was manly.
Thank you. Have a
That
good
was
day.
manly.
If you
Fuck
spend
you.
even 1/10
Fuck
of the
you.
time focusing on stopping children from being molested in your church, maybe you'd actually do some good for your church.
Okay, so tell me how to do.
Now I hang up on you. You don't hang up on me. I hang up on you. If you spend even 1/10 of the time stopping children, which, by the way, is why I am not Catholic. By the way, I was baptized Catholic, yes. Hello, what's going on?
Hey, is this guy on the internet?
Yeah, it's the guy on the internet. What's up?
Hey, man, let's talk about it.
Okay, what's up?
Like what's going on? Like,
By the way,
why do you believe the way you do?
just so you guys know, real quick, sorry, caller. Just so you guys know the lore about Sean, who just called.
Come here, baby.
Sean absolutely flipped out last time because he started being bigoted about Mamdani and 9/11 when Mamdani has nothing to do with 9/11. He got called out on it, and he absolutely lost his fucking mind.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah, sure.
But the guy he's endorsing in Michigan did say we deserved it.
No, he didn't.
And those are American people.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, the guy in Michigan. Yeah,
No,
he endorses the guy in Michigan.
Nope.
That said we deserved it. I can't remember the guy's name. I'll have to look it up. Come on, in the house.
I don't need to look it up.
No, I'll look it up.
Go ahead.
Go in the house.
Go ahead. You know you're talking about a fucking Twitch streamer, right?
Who's this guy?
You're talking about Abdul El
Yeah,
Sayed.
yeah.
That he didn't say
Yes,
that. That was
I see, yeah.
He didn't say that. That was Hassan Piker, you dope.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I got them mixed up. They got
One's a
similar-
fucking streamer and one's a fucking politician, so I don't know how you got them mixed up. But that's the problem,
Well,
dude.
I think they're both like.
That's the problem,
looking
though,
for
my guy.
politician
That's
stuff,
the problem,
right?
though. That's the problem, though,
Okay.
my guy. Is that
Well, let me ask you a question. What do you support with Zoran?
pretty much everything he's doing, pretty much every single thing he's done.
So you want to take from people that are earning money to give it to people that?
Nope. I want people to pay their fair share.
And what is that?
Well,
What
I
is
think
fair
people who make over $1 million shouldn't pay the same in property taxes as somebody who makes $50,000.
Do you know what $1 million is in New York City? It's not shit.
It's a hell of a lot more than $50,000 or $75,000.
Right. Well, that across the country, if you go across the country in normal cities, yeah, 75, 80 grand a year is okay. You'll do okay. But in New York City, it's that you're at very poverty levels at that point.
You're not poverty level at $1 million annually.
Basically, you are. Look it up.
And first of all, it's not based off it's based off your residences, right? If you live in a residence that's valued above $5 million, right? Just giving you an example. If you own a $5 million condo or a house,
which is what?
Right?
How many square feet?
It's not based off square feet. It depends on a million different factors.
Look at a $5 million condo, what the square footage is.
They're not all going to have the same square footage. This is targeting people who make more money, right? It's designed to close the wealth gap.
Okay, what? Let me ask you this: what does
do you think ordinary homeowners should be shielded from property tax hikes?
I think we shouldn't pay any property tax. I think once you own your property, you should own it.
But his policies are to support average everyday people who make less than millionaires to pay less in property taxes. Yes.
No, that guy's a communist, and he wants you to live in shambles. Look at Venezuela.
Listen, what is communism?
It's the communists are the rich, and then everybody else they just take from, and you can live in squalor.
Wrong.
No, again, it's not.
You guys
don't
know
what where has it succeeded?
You guys
don't. If you say
know.
Norway, that's not correct either.
Actually, it is, but you don't know anything
no,
about...
No, it's not.
Hey, hold on. Can I finish for a second? He's not a communist. He's a social
Listen, you talk down to people, brother. I've been watching for like an hour. You talk down to people, and
deal with it.
God bless you, man. I'm not here to argue.
He's not a communist. He's a social dem.
He's a social dem. What's the sister of socialism?
He's not socialist. He's a democratic socialist. They're also
He's not democratic. They're socialist, brother.
No, you don't know what you're talking about. So this is
I
just
know
if you're not going to accept information, I'm trying to give you.
No, you're not going to talk down to me like you talk down to other people and you get other people riled up.
You're not going to talk down to me because I'm going to do whatever I want.
Oh, sure you can. You can. It's
I'm going to do whatever
MAGA,
I want.
Not maggot.
Maggot. So
you're not going to get me riled up, brother.
You voted for somebody who's destroying the fucking country. I have no respect for you whatsoever.
No, absolutely not. He's fixing this place. But
really, what's he fixing? What's he fixing?
I pray for you, brother.
What's he fixing?
I pray for you. Your brother.
Do me a favor. Don't.
Your brother in Christ to me.
Yeah, bullshit.
Your brother in Christ to me. I'm not
are the undocumented immigrants being killed brothers in Christ to you? What about the guy who just died on Tuesday? Is he your brother in Christ? Because they're largely Christian. Is he your brother in Christ?
Who died on Tuesday?
A 52-year-old Mexican immigrant was killed by ICE Tuesday morning heading to his job.
Or illegal?
What difference does it make? Is he not your brother in Christ if
he's
not documented?
We have borders? No borders.
Did you guys hear what he just said?
He said, was he
legal or illegal?
Do we have borders or no borders?
Did you guys hear what he
said?
What
are your thoughts?
Did you guys hear what he said? Was he legal?
No, I don't want anybody to die.
He didn't
I don't want
ask
anybody
about.
to die.
Hold on, he's just interrupting me now because he does.
No, I don't want anybody to die.
He just proved who he really is. You see. You just proved who you really are, sir. Yes, because I thought, did Jesus have borders?
No, I don't want anybody to die.
That's not what you just said. You just said, was he documented or undocumented? To be with
Jesus at some point.
You said, was he documented or undocumented?
No, nobody should die. But listen, here's the deal. You can't cross our borders illegally. Do you believe in borders, sir?
I believe that the immigration system is broken. This has nothing to do with borders.
Okay,
though. Do you think people who cross the borders?
Illegal?
Hold on.
What do you believe in?
Do you
legal
think
or
people,
illegal?
Do you think human beings can't be illegal? Okay, they're undocumented, not illegal.
Do you know what Biden did? Do you know what Biden did?
No, not interested. I'm interested in finishing my original point, but you won't shut up and let me talk long enough to finish my original point because you're a disrespectful fuck.
Sir, you bully. I've listened to you for an hour. You bully everybody. You're bullying everybody because you think you're smarter than everybody.
I am smarter than
smartest guy in the room.
I am.
See,
that just happens to be the case. That just happens to be the case.
We can't have a legitimate conversation.
We can't have a conversation when you don't let me finish.
I don't think I'm smarter than you, sir.
Well, let me talk.
I'd like to speak to you, but you think that you're smarter than everybody, and you just said it. You said, yeah, I am smarter than everybody.
No, I said I'm smarter than you.
Okay, well, we can't have a legitimate conversation if you think you're just smarter than me.
I am smarter than you.
You think you run me or whatever.
It's true.
You know,
I am.
We can't have.
I mean, that's just a
sir,
fact.
we can't have a legitimate conversation if you feel that way.
Okay. Well, how about you let me finish, and then we'll determine that, right? I specifically
like
brought
the last guy, his wife didn't get to finish or whatever. His wife never.
He
got
probably
to finish,
doesn't let his wife finish. Honestly,
you thought that was real tricky or whatever.
He probably doesn't let his wife finish. I mean,
do you think?
I mean, honestly, do you think he does?
Man, I don't know this gentleman.
Can I just tell you the truth? I'm so tired of you fake ass Christians pretending you give a fuck about other human beings when it's really about your white nationalism.
No,
you don't give a shit about other human beings. You don't give a shit about other human beings, which is why when I just told you someone was murdered by ICE, you said, was he illegal or legal instead of, oh my God, Adam.
What do you think about Dearborn, Michigan?
Oh my God, Adam, what were the circumstances?
Do you want to go live in Dearborn, Michigan?
Oh my God, Adam, what were the circumstances surrounding his death?
You live in Houston? So you live in the free state of Texas.
Notice
right?
how he didn't ask what the circumstances were surrounding his death. He went right to was he illegal or illegal?
Why would you put me on hold?
Because you won't
for
shut
a second
up.
So you get your point
you won't
across.
shut up.
Well, sir, you keep talking over me as well. I'll tell you what.
You haven't let me
you
finish
talk
my original
if you allow
point.
me to talk.
You haven't let me finish my original point. I've been trying for 15 minutes.
You haven't let me finish my point either.
I answered your questions. Let me speak.
Okay, I'll let you speak.
In fact,
don't
honestly,
demoralize me, please.
You don't decide when I speak, right? I speak whenever I want to speak, and I'll just hang up on you. Don't shut up.
You think you're above.
Watch that. I am above you. See how you're gone and I'm not? Guess what? You guys like racial hierarchy, right? How about some fucking YouTube hierarchy? I decide whether or not you interrupt me. Goodbye. I talk about somebody who just got murdered on Tuesday, and what's your response to that? You go, was he illegal or legal? Not, Adam, oh my God, can you give me the details surrounding his death so I can make a determination about whether or not it was justified? You said, was he illegal or legal? Because what you're saying by saying that is illegal, undocumented people deserve to die. That's what you're saying. And I'm so tired of these fake-ass Christians, people who couldn't give a fuck less about other human beings, pretending that their religion keeps them pure. Your religion doesn't keep you pure. Your sick, twisted ideological commitment is going to send you straight to hell if it exists. I hope you understand that. You can go to church every Sunday until kingdom come, but guess what? Your hatred and supporting the oppression of other marginalized groups of people will absolutely send you to hell. You don't care about other human beings. That's at the end of the day, that's what matters. You got to turn the live stream off. You got to turn the live stream off. Why is this guy calling and listening to the live stream? Like, how dense do you have to be? Remember when I said I was smarter than him? That's him again. Genius is trying to listen through the live stream for me to say what's up instead of listening on the phone. Genius.
Call from.
Yes. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Not well, honestly. How are you?
Oh, that's not good. Come on.
Yeah, are you
the world's a better place because you're in it, brother. Yes, I am.
And why are you a Trump supporter, sir?
Why? I don't agree with all his policies, but I do believe he was a better option between Hillary, who was a warmonger, and
Hillary?
Camilla,
Who's Camilla?
The last vice president. Kamala.
Hillary wasn't running, and Kamala.
In 2016 she was.
Okay, we're not talking about
And then
2016.
this time around, Kamala was not voted for by anybody in the property. She was installed.
Yeah, so actually, I don't know if are you referencing something constitutionally they needed to follow to have some kind of primary that's
the primaries are controlled by the parties.
Right, and the delegates gave her the votes. Can you give me one viable Democrat who challenged her nomination?
Nah,
Then I guess what?
because
Then
they're all jokes.
you wouldn't have an open primary if there's no Democrats challenging the nomination. So, can you tell me why you didn't like Kamala Harris? Maybe we'll get into that.
Why? Well,
Just to be
let's
clear
start
with you,
her,
just to be clear with you,
pandering.
just to be clear with you before you continue, I'm not a Democrat. I'm actually farther left than Kamala Harris. I have criticisms of
wonderful.
Kamala Harris. I don't appreciate U.S. foreign policy. I think their immigration policy sucked as well. But that's besides the point, right? I think I think she's a million times better than Trump, and I think anyone who didn't vote for her is a joke. But go ahead.
No, I didn't like when she was on the air and laughed about smoking pot while the same time she was the attorney general in California and put people away for smoking pot and held them.
So you didn't like that she laughed on television about smoking pot and then ended up getting a job as a prosecutor and doing her job. Okay. What else?
But that's not what I said.
It is.
I didn't like the fact that she admitted to doing the same thing that she put people away for.
Okay, well, that tends to be how the job goes, right? But what's next?
Okay, so it's laws for some but not the others.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking comparatively, then I would look at the fact that Donald Trump is a convicted felon and she was a prosecutor. But go ahead.
What were the felonies? Can you tell me what the underlying crimes were?
Yeah, campaign finance violations. He falsified business records.
That's a federal crime. How can you be charged in state
What are you
court for
talking
that?
about? If in the state of New York, if you falsify business records to cover up any other crime, it's automatically elevated to a felony. Manny, thank you so much, Manny. Adam, you are blasphemer. Love you too, brother. Go ahead.
No. There was supposed to be an underlying felony that brought the misdemeanor back.
I literally
the
just said
Federal
it.
Election Board turned down the prosecution of that. But
You're wrong.
I was going to.
You're wrong, but that's fine.
Oh,
you can
wonderful.
say that I'm wrong. I don't really care. He's a convicted felon. So.
No, trust me, I don't care either. Call me names or whatever, but
Well, I mean, you're just one of these people that's not going to accept information again.
what information are you going to give me?
What?
Have
What'd
you ever?
say? What can I? What did you say?
What information? Enlighten me.
Well, I told you he's a convicted felon in the state of New York, falsifying business records to hide campaign finance violations. So why are you disputing that he's a felon? What part makes him not?
It's still running through appeals.
That doesn't change that he's a felon. He received an unconditional discharge as a part of the sentencing phase. He is absolutely a convicted felon. Why do you not think that case is legitimate?
Why?
Yeah, a jury found him guilty, beyond a reasonable doubt, of falsifying business records to hide campaign finance violations. Why?
Because that's one of the reasons why it's under appeal, and they're dragging their feet on it is because of improper jury instructions.
Why do you? You have no idea what you're talking about. Why is it not a felony?
Because there was no underlying crime.
Sir, I already explained this part to you. Yes,
No,
there
you
was.
did not.
Yes,
No, there wasn't. They gave them three choices.
Sir.
Of the underlying crimes.
Sir.
I'm just saying, they gave them three choices for an underlying crime, but they never revealed what the three choices were.
Sir, I already explained to you, said the underlying crime. The underlying crime is the campaign finance violations.
Oh, yeah. The kind of like paying for opposition research out of your campaign fund?
In New York, falsifying business records by itself, you're correct, is a misdemeanor. But when it's used to cover up another crime, automatically... Which was campaign...
Kind of like
which was a
hiding a payment to...
Which was a scheme to influence the presidential... Which was a scheme to influence the presidential election in 2016, right? By hiding those damaging stories. And so New York penal law automatically elevates to a felony when it's to cover up the other crime. You're under the assumption, because that would be considered a federal crime, that New York State
Because there was a federal election.
So are you telling me New York State can't or can't use a federal crime as a predicate to bump a state offense up to a felony? You're wrong.
Out of their jurisdiction.
You're incorrect.
Do you understand the separation of powers?
You're incorrect. It becomes a
Supremacy
first degree.
clause.
The law is specific. The law, first of all, the law was created long before Donald Trump, but it becomes a first degree felony
Again,
when the intent to defraud includes
do you
an
understand
intent.
the supremacy clause?
Oh, that has nothing to do with this case. The state can
No, it
use a
does.
federal. No, it doesn't. Why don't you look this up? Can the state use a federal crime as a predicate to bump a state offense up to a felony? It doesn't. What
Even
you
if
say-
it's past.
They're not charging him with a
time
federal
that-
crime. Sir, you're confusing charging someone at a federal level, a state charging someone at a federal level, or using a federal crime as a predicate to bump up a state offense to a felony.
Again,
that's
you
what you
haven't
don't
told
understand.
me what the 3 crimes were.
Actually, I did. I did 3 times.
No,
I told
what
you.
were the 3 crimes?
Okay,
what were the
first,
3
you keep-
underlying crimes
So if you're gonna just
that were given to the jury?
Okay, so you're gonna let me finish or no?
Yeah.
So he violated New York election law. That's number 1, which was conspiracy to basically prevent an election by unlawful behavior. And then there were campaign finance violations and tax laws that were also broken. Okay, and so the scheme to influence the 2016 election, right, by burying these stories, that hush money payment or whatever, and falsifying business records automatically gets elevated to a felony when it's to cover up those other crimes. Falsified business records to cover up those other crimes.
You said that falsifying the records to cover up the 2...
When the intent to defraud includes...
2 crimes, and then the third one is the misdemeanor that you bumped up to a felony. So there wasn't a third underlying crime.
That's not what I said at all. But regardless, the issue you're stuck on is you are under the assumption that New York state law can't use a federal crime as a predicate to bump a state offense to a felony, and you're incorrect. JLL Tiger Lily, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you.
Have you ever traveled?
Yeah, I travel all over the country as a part of what I do.
The world.
Yeah, I've been outside of the United States, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Have
Probably
you?
resorts and stuff?
Guy, don't assume you know anything about my life, okay? I know you
care.
just got corrected on something because you thought you knew what you were talking about.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
I've
anyway,
been called
you
worse by better there, buddy.
just don't understand the case and why it became a felony,
Have
and
you,
that's okay.
No, but you're...
See what you
know
think.
that there's 210
You're also under the assumption. You keep talking about the jury, like the jury had to agree on which specific additional crime elevates it to a felony. Only that Trump falsified the records with the intent to defraud that included concealing or committing another crime
they had to agree to an underlying crime.
constitutes elevating that to a felony. No, they did not have to agree on which specific additional crime.
They were told they didn't have to, but this is
because they
probably
don't
the only
because
case
they
it's
don't
ever-
have to. The only thing they have to agree is that Trump falsified records with the intent to defraud that included for the purpose of concealing or committing another crime, which I've already explained to you. Okay? And they used that federal crime, in this case, as a predicate to bump a state offense up to a felony. Okay? And by the way, the DA, it's not just a federal crime because the DA didn't rely only on federal election law in this case.
Oh, did I hurt your feelings there?
No, I just cooked you. Didn't hurt
Doesn't
my
sound
feelings
like
at
it.
all. I just want you to back to what we were saying originally. Donald Trump is a convicted felon. Now that we've gone through that, by the way, he would have been convicted on these other cases as well, especially the second federal indictment, willful retention of classified documents and obstruction
Yeah,
of
because
justice.
there is nothing that says that he can't declassify documents.
Except
Is that anywhere?
Actually, yeah. So,
Did you ever hear about?
So first of all,
Bill
hold on,
Clinton's
sir.
sock drawer?
Yeah, well, the Bill Clinton sock drawer case is completely different because the Bill Clinton sock drawer case
No,
was a tape.
that's
Yes,
tape
it is, sir.
and federal
It's
classified
not,
documents.
sir. It's not the same case. In Bill Clinton's case, those were not physical classified documents. That was a recording that Bill Clinton. Can I please finish talking? Are you capable of letting me finish? Thank you. That was a tape, a cassette tape of an interview that Bill Clinton did with historian Taylor Branch. Okay, those weren't physical classified. Excuse me. Can I finish talking? Can I finish talking?
Yeah.
Thank you. That was a cassette tape of an interview he did with historian Taylor Branch about his time in office. Those were not physical classified documents. Point number one. So that's why it's a false equivalency. Okay. Number two, you said, is there a law that specifically states the president can't declassify documents? The accusation isn't whether or not he declassified documents, because Donald Trump openly admits on a recording, which is included in this criminal indictment, that he was in possession of classified information and that he couldn't declassify that information because he was no longer president. He was recorded when he was giving an interview for the Mark Meadows memoir at his Bedminster golf resort. So you're wrong on both points.
If he would have kept it in his garage, though, it would have been okay, right?
So now you're referring to you want to go over the case with Joe Biden, because they're distinctly different again, and it's a false equivalency, because in the Biden case, Biden didn't obstruct justice. And if you actually read into the report, when they were making the determination on whether or not Joe Biden should be indicted, they very clearly stated Biden's cooperation with investigators and the allowing him to search his properties and returning the documents when requested were what prevented a criminal indictment in this case. In Donald Trump's case, he went to great lengths to interfere with the course of an investigation, which ultimately resulted in his criminal case.
Did Joe Biden have documents from when he was a senator?
Yeah. So do you want to have a, so again,
and are senators allowed to take documents from skips?
He was allowed to be in the possession of the documents he was in possession of, but that's not the point. Okay, well, that's good. But anyways, the point is, as I already laid out,
senators cannot possess documents. They can't take stuff from
the documents he was in possession of.
It's the same thing.
The documents he wasn't supposed to be.
Bill Clinton's guy did stuffing documents in his pants.
Biden wasn't supposed to be in possession of the documents at all. He's not. You're supposed to return those documents, but when they were requested, he returned them. In fact, in Biden's case, if I recall, his attorneys came across the fact he was in possession of these documents, and they voluntarily notified them and said, hey, look, we have them in our possession and we want to return them. So like in Trump's case, as I said, the distinct difference is that Donald Trump obstructed justice during the course of an investigation, and that's why he got in trouble. In fact, I can go through this report. I could probably find this report on here. It's been forever since I've debated this, but there is a part of this report where they quite literally say the reason that he was not indicted was because largely he cooperated with the investigation and returned the documents upon request, neither of which Donald Trump did. No, it's not. It had nothing to do with him being senile. You're now referring to a part of the report that stated that the jury.
Interviewer.
No, in the report they stated that the jury would perceive the defendant, who would have been Biden in this case, as an elderly man with a poor memory. They didn't say that he was senile and couldn't stand trial. They were simply saying.
Is that proper for the interviewer to put that in there?
Well, actually, it wasn't proper because he's not a medical professional, but it was to make Biden look bad. The point is, when you're prosecuting a case like this, you have to prove intent. Intent is the entire purpose. So if it just looks like Joe Biden is an elderly man with a poor memory, then clearly they're not going to prosecute him because there was no criminal intent.
Biden has been a career politician, or was a career politician, for 50 years. You ever look into his 88 presidential campaign?
I don't know, dude. Are you going to concede to the points that I made?
What?
You're just pivoting from topic to topic, and I'm wasting a lot of energy explaining these things in depth to you. And you know,
tough guy.
What are you doing?
I'm just curious.
What's with the moaning? What are you moaning and hocking loogies? I can hear you hocking loogies.
Oh, no. Can you?
Yeah, are you hawking loogies inside your house?
No. Actually, what I'm doing...
You're literally inside hawking loogie. Ew, you just did it. Yeah, I'm done with you. That's disgusting. Yikes. I mean, we can go from topic to topic to topic and bounce around and go crazy answering all of these things. And it's like, what am I getting out of it? You know what I mean? What am I getting out of having to go and like dig deep in my brain to remember topics that I haven't debated in God knows how fucking long? Guys, can we please contribute? Can we complete this 10 gifting goal? I would appreciate it. Would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Call from.
Yes, can I help you? You have to speak on the phone, sir. You're listening to the live stream, genius. Oh my God, this guy is a genius. This guy keeps calling in, and he doesn't understand why I'm not answering because he's listening to the live stream and not listening to the phone. He's not putting the phone up to his ear. He's listening on the live stream till I say, "Hello, caller, go ahead." Like this is the level I'm dealing with here, folks. This is the level I'm dealing with here. Yes.
Call from.
Get this man 10 subs.
What?
Hi, it's me. I am from the Source Department. I'm here to give you praise and promote you to get 10 more subs. Chat, get this man subs!
Thank you so much, George. Honestly, George, I've been working my ass off, and I really appreciate you. Oh, man.
We appreciate you so much for dealing with these maggots, dude. Thank you for your cervix.
George, thank you. I appreciate you. And listen, you know, I always want to please you, George. And thank you so much for everything. And look, and the operations are going great with Antifa, and we're staying in line. We're doing our job, and I appreciate you so much. Star Rider, let's go for all the cooking tonight. Thank you, Star Rider. Appreciate you, Star Rider. But George, thank you so much. The chat's not gifting them though, so I don't think they're listening to your direction.
Oh, well, that's a shame. I'll tell Big Ben about this. He'll get it fixed.
All right, bro. Take care. Appreciate you, George. Yes. Let's call this person back who's listening to the live stream. Let's go, Wendy Michelle. Appreciate you so much, Wendy. Thank you, Wendy. Adam Craytriot. Let's go. Maggot usually calls me Adam Cray Cray or Adam Crybaby. So I appreciate the switch up. It's usually Adam Cray Cray or Adam Crybaby. Tiger Lily, thank you so much. Let's go. 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 We've had a good night on here. We've had some funny moments. We've had some annoying moments. We've had some MAGA chud moments, but I appreciate the support, everybody. I really do. Plus, you guys know I'm not wasting your time here, obviously. I got a lot going on.
Call from.
Are you going to keep calling and listening to the live stream?
Fuck you, fat ass.
Wow, that's a good one. You just called from your real number and said that. It took him 20 minutes to figure out how to call me a fat ass. 979, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, Adam. How's it going?
Yeah, we're not talking to you either. The trolls are starting to call in now. They're so obsessed with me. That dude, I swear to God, that caller spent 20 fucking minutes trying to figure out how to call me because he was listening to the live stream. Like, he's that stupid. He spent 20 minutes trying to figure out why I wasn't answering because he was listening to the live stream and not picking up the phone and listening. That's the level of dumb we're dealing with here. This is the level of stupidity that we're dealing with here. And he finally figured it out after 25 minutes. Dumbasses, man. I swear to God. Stupidity is astounding. Jin, thank you for the $10 super chat, Jin. Let's fucking go, Jin.
Call from.
Guy, what do you want? My God.
Hey, Adam, I think we got disconnected.
No, we didn't. I hung up on you. What the fuck do you want?
Good to hear from you too, Adam.
No, I don't care.
Adam, I was wondering.
Jin, thank you so much, Jin. I'm just going to keep interrupting. Jin, let's go.
Appreciate
Maggot
it,
Shut
Jen.
Meltdowns.
Let's go.
Keep doing. Yeah, Jin. Jin in the
Shout
chat.
out, Jen.
Let's get some W's
Hell
in the
fucking
chat for
yeah.
the super chatters. Let's get some W's in the chat for the super chatters. Wake your ass up. Why
Hell
are
yeah.
you cheering it on, you chut?
Because I'm one of your
Stephanie,
biggest
thank
fans.
you so
That's
much.
what
You
don't
definitely
understand.
are. You call in every time
Shout
I'm
out
live.
Stephanie as well.
No, you're
Yeah,
not
Adam,
shouting Stephanie out.
All right, Adam.
Okay. Do you have a good question?
Yeah, I want to know. The other day you said you were part of Antifa.
Lettyland, thank you for the
How do you get a part of
$4.99
Antifa?
super chat.
Lettyland,
Let's go,
$4.99. Appreciate
Lettyland.
it.
The level of patience you have tonight, ignorant people have me questioning evolution. Yes, I appreciate that, Letty. Stephanie
Hell yeah.
Pratt with the $5 super chat. Let's go.
Yeah, we need to donate to the ICE victims.
Well, you should definitely do that. I agree.
You're not gonna do it?
I donate. I've donated more in these last 6 months than I'm sure you've donated in your life. My time, energy, and money. But
Yeah,
you know,
right.
that's
I
I don't have to
donated
brag
$1,000
about
a
that.
week.
I don't brag about that because it's not really about that. You know what I mean?
Oh, you just did.
Can you tell me
just
the last
did.
place tell me the last thing you've done for human beings that you didn't get anything out of it?
Well, I called into your station and made.
I didn't think so. Andrew, thank you so much, Andrew. Says, keep kicking MAGA's ass. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate you so much. Appreciate you. Char CD, thank you for the $5 super set. Says, sorry we aren't doing subs tonight, George. We'll do better soon. Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks. You know what? I'm going to pop off here. I am going to get off here. I did 2 hours. I'm done. So if you didn't see the live, I recommend you watch the fucking live. Anna completing the gifting goal before we end the live. Anna, appreciate you. The live process is pretty quick. It's usually ready like, I don't know, 15 minutes after I get off or so. I think you can watch it right away if you watch it on the computer, though. But either way. So, Tiger Lily. Goal. We won the first Civil War. Are they stupid to start it second in 2026? Yeah, I think they're actually dumb enough to do that. Yeah, I do, sadly. But I don't advocate for violence. You know what I'm saying?
Call from.
Hey, by the way, this is your real number. You're stupid. All right. Let's go, folks. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Appreciate you. I might pop on fucking TikTok in a little bit. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe not. Probably not. But we'll see. You never know. Love you guys. Take care. Subscribe. Thank you so much, Cage, for subscribing. Appreciate you. Guys, don't forget to hit that subscription button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss future lives. Andrew Brown, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who contributed to the live and contributes to the content. I appreciate you. My plans coming up. I have something I'm working on right now for Delaney Hall to help the people down there, but I can't go into tremendous detail about it. I did talk to somebody in Houston, Texas tonight, this afternoon, about potentially going down there and shooting for 3 days next weekend. We'll see what happens. I don't know what things are going to look like going forward, but we'll see. But right now, my focus can't be in 50 million places. I'm going to try, but we'll see. At the very least, I will be at Delaney Hall, not this weekend, but next weekend, doing some work, and there's something else planned that I'll let you guys know that's coming up. So I appreciate you. Love you guys.